he's out of his element. He's the everyman in the gray business suit. He comes from the big city. Maybe there are certain socioeconomic factors that made him have to take this job to impress his family, and he wants to do well. But he's in way over his head. He has to build a complete housing development from scratch. He doesn't really know anything about construction whatsoever. And he sort of stumbles into this job. Now, he's going to make the best of it. And he's going to get his wife, who's played by the lovely and talented Brooke Shield, back in his good books and make sure that she's happy, and he's going to win over the affection of his son, who's now a teenager and knows everything and is a bit of a grump. And there's nothing that's going to stand in his way. Dan doesn't really take into consideration, given that he's just slightly misprioritized. Well-meaning, but slightly misprioritized, and he learns a lesson by his story's end about respecting who the neighbors are, and the locals, really. And those are our furry creatures, the cuddly forest animals, who have had it. They're fed up. They've been dealing with this forever, so symbolically, and, well, in the world of the movie, realistically, they revolt and they want revenge. Matt's great. I mean, what a sweet guy. And he's a good kid, and he's a very talented young actor, and it was nice to have him around. He's accessible and friendly and funny. You know, he's in the High School Musical movies are wildly popular, and yeah, that's all fine and well. But he has a really great sense of timing. He does not take himself seriously. He does so well. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm getting, I'm old now, but he's great as a teenager, without coming off as being petulant and just kind of gnarly, and not putting quotation marks around. You know, I mean, the young people that come to see this will be able to identify with him. That's exciting. To meet him, he is this probably among the sweetest, most diminutive, funny, differential, helpful guys, and then he just snaps and he becomes like an X-Acto blade. And then he flips back and forth, and he's got that filter removed that says you can't do that. But he will absolutely go towards the joke fearlessly. My kind of guy, my kind of actor. Angela and Ken arrived when we were shooting in Boston, probably 2, 3, 4 days before they started working. And by the time they got off, apparently they'd flown in together. By the time they got off the plane, they'd already worked up like 3 or 4 new bits and routines, and decided that the boss should be a germaphobe, and she should be like this sort of caretaker slash assistant. Wallace is playing the psychiatrist that Dan is sent to go and see by his wife, Brooke's character, because he's been acting rather strangely, in his belief that the animals are out to get him. Wally's character pulls ink blot tests. I think legally we weren't allowed to use the word raw shark. But the running joke was that with his ink blot tests, as they all look exactly like angry animals. She's got a great deadpan sense of humor. She's quite a physical actress. I wasn't familiar with everything. And she doesn't have a problem with sending herself up. There's a great montage scene in the end, and, well, everyone pretty much is there to just prove the point that this is a movie. You're here to have fun. If you sat through it all the way and you're still watching the credits and you're having a good time, well, here's just a little bonuses, a little something extra for you. Roger got performances out of everyone, and he really, really did, because I said we're shooting with a digital camera, which was just wide open. And Roger Kumble was playing every part in the movie while he was directing it. He would run in and he would play it, and then he would jump out and he would never call cut. It was hot. We were getting attacked by killer bees and mosquitoes. I mean, this was really happening. We were all miserable and stuff. But Roger was just, he was in his element. He absolutely is. He's the most energetic comedy director that I've ever worked with. In making this movie, I was in and among friends. Um, I felt like I went to summer camp last year, and they happened to have a camera around. Um, Everyone had just the best of intentions to not take this as seriously as you would have to expect to, and that I was entrusted with um, uh, the the stripe of being an executive producer on this was really helpful because it allows you to have a stronger sense of collaboration with this studio, with the with the writers, and certainly in the process of putting together the picture from a post production standpoint.